And in the upper right, the Moldovan Mauler, it's Blade. His opponent, Mr. Jeracup, back in the day, now fighting for the human crown in Europe once again, it's HawK.
Blade, perhaps the best sports person, best athlete to ever come out of Moldova. Actually, best celebrity, even ahead of the epic sax guy, I'm sorry.
By now, with all the close series he's had against Happy, for sure. So
Yeah, a lot of his series tend to be epic, and that's just because he's so damn good.
He's so damn good. He's also pretty innovative. He always finds new challenges for his opponent, and he also in-game finds answers to the challenges that his opponents are throwing at him. Just remember his series against Blade, which is arguably the most entertaining series that we've had in this entire tournament.
Yeah, like I said, I expect a lot of breaker wars to happen in this series. Starting with this map, definitely one of the ones where I expect that to happen. If either of them was to attempt a fast expo, it almost would be seen as like a wild thing. I feel like it's super unlikely. Look at this footman. They didn't even stop to hit one another. And that's because scouting is very important. If a human player in mirror does anything unconventional, you can punish, usually through aggression. So like, for example, if Blade wanted to go creep expansion directly, HawK could just run there, kill a lot of peasants. Same thing if he did the shop on the right side. That's why I expect a complete mirror in most of the maps in terms of creeping. The first class of attack is picked up by Blade. HawK gets the gloves of haste. And remember HawK in the previous interview that we did with him, he complained about the... Oh wait, he mentioned, I guess, the item luck that Blade has been having sometimes against him.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a story going on, wasn't there? There were matches when Blade was finding pendants of energy, big potions of mana, and HawK was left with, I don't know, a potion of healing and a lot of crystal balls. So he started to act up in a way that whenever he found a crystal ball, he just left the game. But that definitely seemed to be a thing of the past, and that is maybe happening in weekly cups, but not on the big stage here at DreamHack.
On this map, after you creep level 2, you head to the center and you do the kobold with your army while you do the murlocs with the militia. Or you have a choice. It's between two choices. You can go to the opponent's kobold camp and try and prevent him from doing it. It looks like Blade is the one that is trying to prevent HawK from doing it, and I think that might be because his Archmage already has +9. He found a mental and a class of attack. He's like, I got all this extra damage. I can prevent you from doing that. You're not going to get level 3. I'm not either, and I'm totally happy with that.
That's a ton of damage. And of course, if you creep the Murloc, then your militia will be affected by a little bit of poison. So if you have the chance to get in range of them, that can be pretty devious. But HawK keeps him busy, keeps his peasants back in the base. And so the dust settles at least for now. Both are moving back to the middle, where of course the big kobold is still up for grabs.
And Blade, knowing that he has an advantage on the hit points of the Archmage, is applying pressure by starting this creep camp here, which is supposedly on HawK's side of the map, and so it should belong to him. But he's like, nope, I'll take that for myself. This Archmage of HawK, he needs to grab boots, he needs to stay mobile, because otherwise he's going to get hit a few more times, and then he'll be really low. Blade is so good at those early game skirmishes as well. Like, so many times he's going to force you to TP, and then maybe even finish off your... If you have to TP and then you lose Archmage, you're like, against Blade, good luck recovering, because this guy will not let go of his lead after that.
No, he grabs you by the throat and stays with it. A good way of dealing with more damage of your opponent is to be in range more often, and for that reason, and many more. HawK is going for boots early. Mental
They
for
both
HawK.
found damage.
Oh, wow. Gloves of Haste for this +9 Archmage. That's pretty good. Mental of Intelligence, very good for HawK. Last hit. Goes to HawK last second. Sacrifices a footman for it, though. Aiming for a surround. A little premature, maybe.
It's crazy. They both found 3 damage items. Apparently, the rings don't exist in game number 1 for these guys so far, but HawK, he found some good momentum here thanks to having boots. Blade finally gets level 3 himself. And he still has more footmen left over in the area in the center. Look, he's working the infamous Archmage against Archmage fight. They both might have to TP. Oh my god.
So close! Water Elemental shot in the air. HawK keeps his town portal by running away. The boots of speed are definitely making a difference here in the early stages of game 1.
It's so rare to win these little fights here against somebody like Blade. Like, usually he's so damn good at them, but in this game, HawK manages to force the town portal, which is very important because later, eventually, when they're fighting, that could be the saving grace, the escape that he needs. In certain situations, Blade does have double Sanctum going up quicker than HawK. His tech was a little bit faster. HawK wanted to play safer, so he made an Arcane Tower, but because he wasn't attacked at all, that was a useless Arcane Tower that has done nothing for him up to this point.
True. I like that both have the shop up behind this little skirmish, so they know that they had to get back and heal up. Blade was kind of forced into this potion of healing here. That's also a lot of gold that you don't really want to spend early. Who's gonna get this one? It's Blade.
Yeah, and he has a potion on his Archmage as well. Very, very safe. HawK needs to be careful. Like, the Mountain King is going to be there a little bit quicker for Blade. Even though he has a town portal, you don't want that to get forced or even lose your Archmage. Because like I said, if you fall behind on that, the game's going to end very fast. Mountain King is coming in. Does HawK react quickly enough? He goes for a footman, actually, to hear those blades.
Fireball kills another footman, so 1-for-1 trades continue. HawK 1 supply down, but against the Mountain King you can't really fight, except if you have your own. Gotta be so careful with this Archmage, though.
He has a potion. He might bait. Okay. Well, that was weird. He actually just bolted the MK, then went back. The Water Elemental could force the potion. Ooh, he missed hit. Priests are here now, and like I said, the production of those is a little bit quicker for Blade, so I think usually there you go and you expand. You just take 5 militia, you go and quickly expand, you pull back the Archmage. But for now, both players, they are doing a small camp here first and foremost.
Yeah, HawK's opening up the shop. That means he can go for invulns, he can go for heal scrolls, protection scrolls even maybe. And now his double sanctum is up as well. Plus he's going for blacksmith very early.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to start upgrades. I wonder if he plans on expanding at all. Creeping the shop this early has its strengths. You can grab an invuln, which is one of the most important items there, yet again. This time, even though we're not inhuman against Orc. There's a lot of Mountain King targeting the other Mountain King. And Blade, despite not having a Town Portal on his Archmage, because he has to use that early on, he kind of moved out, checked towards the shop, saw that HawK was doing that, and he's going to be happy with his much earlier expansion here.
Alright. We saw Blade moving the Archmage away. Isn't level 4 Archmage a very, very important milestone in this matchup?
Yeah, but like Mountain King level 3 is more important. As long as your Archmage is already level 3, you always want to power the Mountain King straight to level 3. I think. After that, you can start clipping maybe a little bit more together. That's why HawK pulled his Archmage also all the way back. He's starting to work on that. He's already maybe going to pull the Mercenary Camp. Yeah, there it is. He misses the shot. There goes the RNG twice in a row. He misses.
There
okay,
we go.
3 times.
We got a Scroll of the Beast for Blade, which is easily dispellable once these trees get some mana again. And then big invul potion for the Mountain King. So we're looking for these auras here. Boots of Kel'Thuzad for HawK. It's so crazy. Oh, boots on both sides.
Yeah, Blade made 6 priests, by the way. That is a lot. HawK stopped at 5. That's more standard, I think 4 or 5. And from there, they're going to go into breakers. Again, like HawK started upgrading earlier. But the first upgrade hasn't even kicked in yet. It's only now on the way. He just started it.
Both are going for control magic, but it looks like Blade has a little bit of a timing advantage here. Water Elementals taken out, of course, big experience. The Priest of HawK may be a little exposed to the Mountain King. We'll see. HawK's MK himself is diving deep. Water Elementals falling on both sides. Militia, of course, way closer for HawK.
And Blade has more footmen. That's why he's confident to attack like this. They had almost the same supply. He just had a little bit more. But that's why he's so good. Like, he sees the situations and he's like, oh, I probably have a little more. I'm just going to attack and make a difference now. And not doing too bad so far. Mountain King's going low, though. He's going to have to use that potion in a sec. Why is he waiting so long? There it is. Still has a healing scroll. On the other side, we don't have any, but we have invuln on both of the heroes of HawK.
HawK is dropping down to 40 supply, though. He needs more army. Maybe these upgrades weren't the right idea. He got 1-0, but what do upgrades do if you only have one unit that benefits from it?
Oh, the Mountain King, HawK's going for it. I don't think he has the firepower. He barely has any units, like you said. And Blade is just steamrolling HawK completely here right now.
Yeah, and the level...
Arcane Tower is gonna fall, and then after that, I don't know how he's supposed to hold.
Exactly. This level 2 aura, by the way, with the control magic ping pong, the breakers of Blade always have more mana, so the ping pong ends up on his side, and all of a sudden, 3 water elementals versus 0. HawK is falling apart.
Yeah, there's just so much supply. It's getting overwhelmed. Militia can only do so much. As soon as they reach the expansion, they got about half their time left. Blade's gonna even disengage here a little bit. He's on 60 supply against 39. He's got a 20 supply lead. You can get all the upgrades in the world, HawK. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. And Blade is even getting his own upgrades here in the meantime. He's just so solid. He doesn't do anything fancy. It's just that the execution is as close to perfect as it can be.
That's crazy. And it's 1 XP missing, or 6 XP missing from the level 2 aura, but until then, it's always an advantage for Blade. Mountain King battle, 1-on-1. Big invo potion, that was big. Can he get this MK? Blade looks safe for now. Heal scroll, level 4, more HP. And HawK has to disengage with his second hero.
And look at this. He moves back so well, like blocks a lot of the units, prevents them from attacking his own Mountain King. And now Blade, 65 supply against 45, still a 20 supply lead. And all the pressure in the world is on HawK now because his peasants on the expansion are going to be dying very quickly. So he needs to do something about it now, but he can't because his Mountain King is just not healthy enough, and he's just going to tap out. Blade, easy peasy, game number 1. Just great execution all around. Gets the safe victory.
Pretty convincing. Your praise was not too much, that's for sure. Breaker Wars, Blade is really damn good at it.
And, you know, HawK the Prophet, he was right. He definitely had the worst items there. Those claws plus mantle, those nuts items in the beginning, especially when it's about fighting over the kobolds in the middle, such a big deal. And just that little bit that Blade needed to get ahead. Got the expansion faster, got a bit more experience, got a little bit more levels, and closed it out. Didn't see any mistakes in that game.
Yeah, it's kind of what oftentimes decides the Yumamura, these tiny little things. 1 footman more, 1 footman less. 3 damage more, or 3 damage less. It's crazy how competitive this first Yumamura was already.
Yeah. But this is also the map to do it on, right? On Amazonia, you're in the middle right away, you're brawling right away. Other maps, it should be a little more passive for the beginning. Last Refuge, our next map, that is a map where fast merc camp is usually what we see, and in some cases also fast expansions.
Yeah, it's crazy that they all got like full damage items. And I mentioned that Twisted Meadows and Terna Stand are like 2 maps where the items, like, you know, there can be a lot of chance involved and stuff. But I think on Last Refuge as well, because you usually creep at least 3 camps, if not 4 or 5 before you start fighting. And like that's 5 items in a row. That can be very important. Like if you get all good ones and the opponent gets all bad ones and vice versa. I think this is one of the maps where there's a chance we might see an expansion. If I had to guess, I'd say HawK is usually the one that's a little bit more reluctant to expand. Whereas Blade, he might be sometimes, but he's also not afraid of playing with expansion on this map. He's very good with both sides. So I think maybe Blade might expand and maybe HawK not and do like a 1 base instead.
Right. HawK was always pretty good at stealing Shadow Priests away. And again, on Amazonia, the mercenary camp's not really accessible, and Shadow Priests shine in the early game. Here, thanks to the manipulation of the creep AI, for a couple of months, it is able to get these Shadow Priests early. And I'm looking forward to if that's going to be a factor or not. You hear the countdown? I do. Let's load into map 2. Just as Todd said, Last Refuge. And that was, once this map was introduced into the competitive map pool, it quickly became HawK's hometown. He was getting so good at that, it was absolutely ridiculous. But here, it is Blade's pick. So, will the Moldovan run away with a 2-0 lead? Wait and see. So in the yellow, once again, from Moldova, one of the best humans we have on the continent. It's Blade with the lead, and HawK punching upwards. This early game will tell us a lot, right? If you go for mercenaries or not, if you go for the expansion or not. Decision making here, really important.
Yeah, on this map, like I said, it's a lot about the mercenaries and creeping like 3 camps first. The question is, do you expand or not? The one base play is very, very tricky. And the thing is, I expect them both, like they did in map number 1, to scout in every map with a footman in the start, to make sure they know exactly where the opponent is at, what order is creeping in. There is the occasional rare mountain king first. If you're able to identify that as he comes out of the altar, you already can do a much better job at figuring out what plan you're going to use to try and counter that, because it's very different than playing against an Archmage.
All right, once we got into map 2 of Foggy versus Cooper, I brought up our Instagram votes, and of course we did this for HawK versus Blade as well. It's pretty much 50-50, I gotta say. It's a slight lead for Blade. It's like 55 to 45. So the people, the millions and millions of Warcraft fans around the world on Instagram can't really decide. And so far, this tiny little lead was also what was shown on the battlefield. So both footmen are moving towards the Merc camp.
Yeah. Actually, on this map, yeah, this is one of the few scenarios where, because you have to pull the mercenary camp with your first footman, you're not going to scout in the start. So I'm curious to see when exactly they are going to scout. After that, they go for the very early pull. We got 6 militia on HawK's side and 6 on Blade's side. So an absolute mirror here up to this point. Even their bases are built similarly here. You see the 2 farm in each wall is to try and prevent as much as possible the Archmage to summon water elementals inside of the wall.
That's really annoying once that happens and you don't have an Arcane Tower. Phew, I don't want to be in their shoes. Get the Shadow Priest, of course. And what are the items? Belt for Blade.
Same.
No way. Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's pretty bad for both. And like usually this is the stage where you don't know what your opponent has gotten, so in your mind you're like, oh, I got a bad item, I hope he doesn't get a good one. Oh no, he's got a good one, doesn't he?
HawK has one...
Small Murloc camp after that, by the way, for both, looks like.
Alright. We have a footman here to harass for HawK, distracting a little. And yeah, for both, you're absolutely right. Mantle for HawK. Cloak of Shadows for Blade. First little difference.
Yeah, of course, Mantle is better for the additional damage, even though it's only 3. It can add up, like I said, even the slightest difference here. It's gonna feel like a giant one for these players. They're so evenly matched. They're both so damn good.
I like
and
that
5 militia on both sides to equip the expo.
Yeah, I like that HawK is distracting Blade a little bit. So he can't focus like 100% on his creeping. And he wanted to steal the Berserker, but Blade was a little bit quicker.
Ooh, it's gonna take a lot of damage on that footman. This is kind of bad. This might make Blade wanna play aggressive behind this, because he's already level 3 now. He got a Circulate on the expo. HawK as well.
A town is under siege.
And HawK's going around for the main base. Look at this. He's sneaking the Archmage on the left side, and he's going to send the rest of the army to the expo. When you do that, sometimes you can even buy a Staff of Teleportation, and if the opponent
are under attack.
Sends too much army to the main base, you can staff the Archmage to the expo.
Alright, let's see. Oh, this base build didn't work out too well just yet. HawK is sending the footman back, replaces it with a Water Elemental, and here you see the strength of that summon drop.
So much for the 2 farms.
2 kills.
And then now HawK, what does he do? Does he run to the expo? This Water Elemental still doing a ton of damage. What did he kill? 2 peasants? That's pretty good. And also it's preventing wood from being mined right now. If you look at the wood economy of Blade, it's really, really bad compared to HawK's.
Yeah, it's like 1. He's sending the militia back now, but 1 more fireball is 1 more kill, and he's running away with 75 experience and 3 killed peasants.
Yeah, so HawK's doing more damage so far. Experience-wise, he's just a little bit behind because Blade did an extra camp here with the green where you get the small consumable. Might be a good time to just pull back here right now for HawK. Blade still is well defended right now. That counter-attack at the top with double footman is really nice, by the way, from Blade. You realize he has enough back at home to defend, so he's like, I need to put on some counter-pressure.
And Blade is getting a footman for his efforts, and also, oh, almost the Water Elemental. Close to
A
level
very big
4 now.
deny, because look at the Archmage of Blade, it's almost 4.
Yeah.
If he gets 4 now and he has double Forest Scroll Shadow Priest behind his Archmage, that level 2 Brilliance is going to be so important while he's pushing. But the tech is way earlier for HawK.
A town
Oh, we
is
started
under
already?
siege.
Started already. Lumber Miller as well. But HawK is distracted on the left-hand side, and he's getting pushed in his main base. There's no tower nowhere.
Under attack.
It's like, so we want to summon Wet Elementals inside of the wall, do we now?
Oh my god, that is a lot of damage. He's even entering with the Berserker. HawK needs to salvage this ASAP.
Yeah, he needs to get in position and defend correctly against this Militia. Not exactly the best unit against Water Elemental and a Berserker here that's in his base. And Blade, if he can kill a lot of peasants here, he can really come back in this game. Because remember, he lost a lot himself. He forgot to take! Blade is not taking!
A player's forces
He
are
has the
under
gold, he has the wood. He's not macroing at all in the meantime. It's almost 1,000 gold. He's so focused on the micro on the other side of the map. And sure, he's doing a lot of damage. Finally, he takes. But HawK is more than halfway through done with his own tech.
This is not as bad as it would be on other maps, because you can invest your gold into mercenaries that scale a little better than barrack units would. But yeah, this is definitely bad, but definitely bad is also the suffering of HawK in the main base.
Oh, and he's going to use the Cloak of Shadows here to just kind of hang around. HawK on 31 supply, Blade on 40. So despite having the delayed tech here, he has more supply. I think especially peasant-wise on wood. He's getting a
player's
second right?
forces
What?
are under attack.
What?
I mean, usually, like, of course, when it's expand against expand, you want to go knights. So it's normal to get the second racks, but not before the keep. Oh, there he cancels. I think he realized he's like, oh, I'm not taking to tier 3 right now. I'm taking to tier 2. I don't need that just yet. You shouldn't be massing footmen here.
He builds it again.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. You're the expert.
Well, trust me, no expert will know what's happening with this one.
Player's forces are under attack.
Blade is a little bit of a special case, that's for sure.
He's probably, yeah, he's gonna attack here. Look, he's gonna get double scroll. This is so smart. He gets Archmage 5. HawK doesn't have that. You're supposed to get protection scroll, healing scroll, and then attack now. And that attack will pack a hell of a punch, because he's gonna have defense. He has an insane army. Look, like both of the Shadow Priests have a bunch of mana to work with. We've only got one on the other side from HawK. And that level 5 is so damn important as well. Oh, the Forest Scroll! It's caught.
Uh-oh. Not too good. A lot of focus on this Water Elemental. That's so much damage that lands up on HawK's Footman. 44 supply for him, 46 for Blade, and still so much gold to work with. One Arcane Tower, but I got a feeling that it won't be enough against level 3 Water Elementals.
Yeah, HawK has Mountain King out already, so he might even go clap here against this many footmen and army. There's a greater healing on the Archmage of Blades. One more unit and HawK gets level 5. Archmage can get that footman maybe. No, I think it's out of range. Throws the Stone Bolt, so he didn't go clap. And he's gonna get that level 5 now, finally. He had a way earlier attack, but he's not taking to tier 3 yet because he lacked wood. Remember that counter attack did a
player's
number on
forces
him.
are under
There it
attack.
is, starts castle. As do
Stormbolt.
we on the other side.
Stormbolt on Blade's Archmage, trying to force a potion, but doesn't get in range for the second Stormbolt. This is a wild human mirror, man.
Yeah. Action-packed. A lot of violence, speed, and momentum in this one.
That's how I like it.
And Blade, actually, I thought he might maybe go for a neutral hero. Sometimes you can get Panda here if you think you're doing well to try and do even more damage onto the peasants, but he still went for Mountain King, so he's going to be quite a bit behind experience-wise. Like, we see the Mountain King of HawK already on level 2. So HawK is still looking pretty good here, I think, in this game,
Isn't it?
despite his lack of lumber.
Yeah. Isn't it a little crazy from Blade to
Town is
steal
under
this
siege.
shop away? It looks so bold. But he
Yeah.
gets away with it. We'll probably have to pay with the TP again, but he's at a 1k gold, so it's totally fine.
Archmage goes for the main base. He's trying to kill a lot of peasants. I think he realized that the tech of HawK was going to be super late. And if he can leave that base with no peasants left alive in it, he's going to be quite ahead.
Clap now. Berserker falls. Big potion used. Trying to force the TP as soon as he can. But HawK, of course, going for the counter attack as well. It's a slaughter on both sides. Mountain King is trying to deal with the level 5 Archmage here, who got quite some claws. Heal scroll. Oh, he can stay a little longer. Extended vacation for Blade.
A player's forces are
Yeah, I think Blades is so good with the placement as well here with his water elementals. But on the other side, this is a rush to castle while base trading. Like, this is a wild game that we're watching right now. I didn't expect this was gonna go like this. This is kind of unusual.
Oh, Mountain King falls for Blade! He was a little busy somewhere else. I mean, only level 1. There was
the
no
Archmage...
way. He's trapped! He can go for a TP though.
Yeah, but then what if he dies after TPing? The Mountain King on the other side is level 3, but he's dying as well.
Oh my god, he's trapped! Back against his own barracks, and that's a way bigger kill for Blade!
Level 6 by Blades.
He doesn't even have to go for his town portal. He got Mastelli now. 11 minutes in.
30 supply left. He's gonna mass Telly out, I think. Trying to get as much damage done as possible before that.
Wow.
What is this slugfest? Absolute slugfest here from both. And look at this. Blades, even though he has an Archmage low hit points and he lost his Mountain King, getting level 6 earlier is huge. He's still doing damage somehow. He has that greater healing. He could drop the belt to circulate, use that, and keep on doing some damage.
And that's, okay, not exactly what he does, but now we got Mastelli for HawK as well. I would love to have a murder per minute meter here.
I think Blade is winning because he has double knight production. And he's already getting a paladin. Look at the altar of HawK. He has to finish remaking Mountain King. Of course, he's going to be level 3, and that's huge. But then only then will he able to get the paladin out. So there is some big potential for a timing from Blades. And I've played him many times, and usually he almost always goes for a timing here if he identifies that he's going to have more knights than you, even just by 1 or 2.
Yeah, Blade is 10 supply ahead. Blade is the one with the 2 barracks. HawK is catching up now. It's not power building though, can't really afford it. Do we have upgrades? We get a depth upgrade for HawK and
he gets an
all
egg
the
as well.
knight upgrade for Blade.
A player's forces are under attack.
Look at this, the knight into the expansion. This is so annoying. Like, you need so much to deal with this. You can't send 2 footmen. They will get smashed. So you have to send the entire army. But again, HawK's Mountain King is not even out. He's finally about to come out now. He was worried for his main base, so he remade a tower there, but that's not going to help him against the army that's about to hit him, where there's so many knights now coming out.
And there is Sundering Blades is finished now, and you might think, like, there's no breakers, why would you get Sundering Blades? Well, peasants have medium armor as well, and knights love to slaughter them. Mountain King is back, but he's looking in the mirror, and he doesn't like what he sees.
There is a staff, but he's going to staff maybe inside of the wall next to those units. Oh my god, no. He dispels it.
But what now?
Mountain King is dead. Pala will not be out on time.
Trying to TP with the mass telly. Is it enough? It absolutely is. But he's next.
But Mountain King.
Oh no!
The paladin is almost out. If he can keep it alive with some priests. No, it goes down. That was such a sick attempt at saving that. The paladin of Blade goes down, but he transferred the yank on that. The Mountain King is actually going down for Blades.
He has no Stormbolt here, and he saves so much. The Echo is wrecked. The MK is dead for a second time. And where does he mass TP? To the Expo! The pressure doesn't stop.
And HawK has a knight at the bottom right, but he forgot to micro it. So he killed like an entire building. Now he's killing a farm. He should really be working on those peasants here already. And I think HawK's gonna try to go for an attempt at saving his Expo here, but look at the positioning of Blade. It's so flawless. It's so hard to get in there and actually defend against this. And he has way more priests. So those water elementals, they're gonna start evaporating entirely.
He's about to kill this town hall. Mastelli is of course ready again. I would love to know if there's another unit in the main base. Of course he can't staff onto it. Maybe he's just dealing with the knight at home. And finally give HawK some peace, and that is what's happening.
Yeah, keep in mind, Blade's already 1-1 in upgrades. HawK is 0-0. Another knight is gonna sneak to HawK's main base. He does have Mass Telly, and I think he's gonna have to use that immediately. Does Blade react? Not yet.
That opens up the expansion once again. When was the last?
He trapped that beautifully.
Yeah. When was the last time HawK had all 3 heroes for more than 10 seconds?
A player's forces are
I think never.
Never, I think.
Yeah, the Paladin came out once the Mountain King was dead. So 2 level 3 revives, super expensive. But if there's a silver lining for HawK, there's a little bit of a mismanagement of resources. 1,500 gold, 40 lumber for Blade.
Yeah, it's gonna be a giant power level here for Blade reached in a second. He's so right to go buy scrolls, by the way. You just mentioned he has a surplus gold. There's no point in going above 80. Probably gonna go Devotion here on the Paladin, and you go Clap level 2 almost always in ground against grounds.
Another footman. The fact that he has still a footman after 16 minutes of this game is blowing my mind.
Yeah. Wait, he went Bash? What?
Against Mass Teleport, I think. Because here it is again! Let's go! Kill these workers. HawK is responding to it. Wait. That was only the Archmage. And that's game. Oh, a little sad that a game like this ends like this. But Blade leads 2-0.
That was a super cool game though. The early game slaughter, the AMs just racing out of control, attacking 2 bases, protecting 2 bases, lots of multitasking required. Human Mirror can be so cool if just we refuse to make breakers. Goddamn breakers ruining this matchup. Here we see how beautiful it can be. That was super cool.
I think played at this level, even Breaker Wars are fun because these guys just play so close to flawlessly. They do so many good moves that I'm still mad entertained when watching Breakers against Breakers.
That was so sick. That was so sick. That was actually so sick that I need a little bit of a break before we go into 3 match points in a row for Blade. He could be the second player in the semifinal next to Foggy, so don't go anywhere. Witness the decision with us. Be right back. Here we are. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The first quarterfinal was a back and forth if we ever saw one. But the second one looks a little different. Unique, aka Blade, is running away with a 2-0 lead. Remo, I want some more games. I want to cast more with Todd. Can you do something about this series here?
Me?
Yeah.
I think you have to ask HawK to do something. I'm just here enjoying the human mirror so far.
Any advice for HawK, Remo?
Would love to hear that. I mean, your balance ideas are welcomed with open arms by the Reddit community. Maybe you have some human mirror.
How about some inner-fire rifles while you're ready?
I only have the best inputs, dude, as you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about... I'll save it for later.
Well, hopefully,
never.
hopefully there is a later, because the DreamHack Anaheim prophecy is about to end. Foggy made it, but HawK is struggling just as he did in Anaheim. Granted, he was facing Happy there in the quarterfinal, so there's no shame in losing that. But if he wants to make it one step further, he has to step things up on Concealed Hill. All right, Todd, do you have any advice for HawK to save the series and save us more entertainment?
Stay away from the rings and get some good items. I don't know what else.
All right, the first drop will be coming pretty quickly, I guess, on Concealed Hill on the left-hand side of the main. So how likely is a breaker mirror here? How likely is it that one of these guys expand?
Very likely. Actually, I played against Blade on ladder last night on this map, so I know what he did, like in terms of creep route. The standard is the small orange camp near your base, and then you go across the map or on the other sides. So if you're like, if you're HawK, you move up towards the Murlocs that are near the center, and same for Blade. So you keep that small turtle camp, the small green one near your base, for just militia. But last night when I played against Blade, he countered that by... Instead of going to the Murloc camp and creeping that, he ran to my turtle spots. As if he was hoping I would already be creeping that with militia. Or to steal it away from me. And then he stole it away from me. And he got level 3 a little bit earlier. And yeah, then I fell behind. And it's very hard to come back when you fall behind against this guy. And we saw that in the 2 previous games. Even when you get ahead, he always finds a way to somehow come back. And he will know like when to creep the shop, for example, and then come back home and TP. I think they know how to delay the Arcane Tower also a little bit. Not that much either.
All right. Yeah, this sounds like some Fortitude-esque aggression that oftentimes works against very, very good players. We see Blade already cutting some corners. He's not going for the Arcane Tower, just as you mentioned. But HawK seems to be a little afraid of another Water Elemental drop. So we got Gloves of Haste for HawK. We got a ring for Blade. That's a good start for the Russian.
Yeah, and look at this. HawK is not going to the top side of the map. He's staying down there instead. This is unconventional. Usually, one of the only moments you would ever want to do this is maybe if you're expanding behind that, but I don't think HawK's expanding. He's getting an Arcane Tower. I'm pretty sure he's going to want to tech. Maybe he's just worried about the usual weird base trade that you can go into if you do the standard creep route. And he doesn't want any of that. So instead, he's creeping safe. But what that's going to do is that Blade's gonna steal this Murloc camp away from him now, and then Blade's gonna creep this small turtle spot at the top with just militia. So that should put him ahead. He's even going for a 4th farm.
Wow. That's a late tech then for sure. The Footman is scouting this militia move out, but Blade is doing it nonetheless. Oh, just fighting the Footman so far. Sees that Blade is going for tower. But 4th farm, that usually sounds like expansion.
Yeah, this is weird. He's been harassed so much by this 1 footman of HawK, by the way, which is great on this map because you can just send that to the fountain and replenish back to full hit points with the footman. So he prevented a lot of wood from being mined from Blade. And Blade's, okay, finally the tech starts, but it's a good amount behind that of Blade's. Blade's Archmage, what the hell? Barely above level 2. He was supposed to have already done the turtle at the top, but he's lacking so much wood that he really delayed that. And now HawK teases the opportunity to do the shop. It's going to be the one that's going to be way closer to level 3. Question is, where does he go after this? He could try and go to Blade's base and then kill like 2 peasants and get level 3. It's always a hard choice here.
He got boots, so his movement in general is quick. Blade has a footman here, so he knows exactly what's up. On the other side, it's kind of the same. Not too sure if HawK saw the movement, but shop creep now could be
Saw the
boots.
bodies. of
So the bodies?
Molochs.
Ah, right, alright.
Yeah, the Moloch's missing. So like, you know, he touched the ground and then he like licked his finger real quick, like smelled it. It's like he was here 30 seconds ago.
The body is still warm, exactly. We got Well of Illusion that will help creeping. We got a tier 2 tech by Blade as well, 50% in. HawK's of course further ahead. Is he going for boots? Yes, he is. Okay, so not cutting that corner.
A player's forces are under attack.
Whoa, 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 Blades. Are you actually gonna do the fountain?
He has nothing to heal, so... Yeah? But HawK is going
That
for
is
the...
so sick. He's gonna pull the Drake, watch this. He's gonna bring the Drake to outside of where it's getting healed by the fountain and then kill it with just Archmage and the Water Elemental.
It was
and
a
with ease as well.
There was a super important moment in the middle. HawK was trying to go for the red spot, but Blade had an illusion there. That illusion blocked the movement of the Overlord, so that trap didn't work. HawK is going for it again, but Blade is still so good at blocking with this illusion that it fails twice while
And he
he's
knew-
creeping that red spot.
He knew that might happen, and this is what Blade does. He always reads the game so damn well, and then it feels almost greedy to go for a camp like this, but guess what? It's safe. He kept an eye on HawK. He's even gonna see most likely that HawK's doing the lab, and Blade's gonna get... Is he getting level 4? I think he might be from this. This is huge.
This is one of the biggest items of the map. Once again, Boots of Kel'Thalas. Okay, will be sold for sure. Not the greatest drop so far,
A player's forces are
but
under
that
attack.
was at least 170 IQ move right there. And these illusions,
Yeah.
of course, super helpful.
But HawK is getting Mountain King and Double Sanctum a little bit earlier than Blades. And look at this, he goes for Blacksmith again. So it seems to be standard. Instead of rushing the Expo, you know, it's very common when you have Double Sanctum, you make like 3 priests, you get the spell, and then you're already creeping the Expo and you take it. But for the pool, did he land that? I think he might have.
Oh, he must have, but here comes Blade. How much damage can he do? Okay, HawK is abandoning this once again. 2 footies are about to fall. One is already dead. Stormbolt aiming for that surround. Not that easy against Boots. Gets out. It looks like Blade in every single moment is just that little bit better.
Yeah, and Blade's doing the same thing, by the way, with the Blacksmith. He's adding his own right now. HawK on
A player's
36
forces
supply
are
against
under
42 for Blade. So Blade is always a little bit ahead in supply, it seems like. He's so good at saving units. And those priests are going to be key here. These guys are fighting so much. Neither of them accepts that they have to back out. Unless they absolutely have to. It's been an action-packed series so far. And it's, I mean, they're clashing for the center here. Nobody wants to back down. They're playing a game of chicken.
I like Blade's position a lot better, though. The mana management is above average, to say the least. There's another Water Elemental. The Mountain King is fresh. Reinforcements are going to be there earlier. He even pulls Militia to this, knowing how important this is. And HawK tried 3 times to get this done. And in the end, the Overlord is falling to Blade.
A player's forces
Yeah,
are
and there's
under
always
attack.
potential for a really big and important item. He gets Doom! Oh my god, he gets Doomhorn. One of the absolute, if not the best item that you could get here. That's gonna give him move speeds and also health regeneration, which is huge here in this matchup.
Yeah, you don't have to heal that much. That means you have a little more mana for Dispel. Oh, HawK, I don't like that. He needs a reverse sweep. But not only does he have to turn the series around, I think first he has to turn this map
Forces are
around.
under attack.
Blade's gonna expand in the center, watch this.
No way. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. HawK is expanding bottom right, so... Who's faster? Blade a little bit.
Yeah, and he has a bit more supply. He only has 4 peasants though at the expansion to make that. Upgrade-wise, we've got 1-0 for HawK. As Blade is getting pretty close to getting 1-1. He's got a second upgrade well on the way.
Archmage sees this. Mountain King creeps the lab solo.
Player's forces are under
So at least not all 3 red spots are going to Blade. That's nice. Or, okay, level 4 at least. Okay, that's fine.
And Potion of Invuln, the 15 seconds one. found at a lab here. One of the best items. This is going to be able to survive so long, maybe preserve his mana on the Mount Tanking as well. He's level 3 against level 2 Mount Tanking.
It's so
Why
big.
is HawK fighting this? He's very close to level 3 himself. He needs 1 or 2 more units.
This reeks like desperation. Every Stormbolt's a kill. The priests are falling left, right, and center. HawK can't catch up with this. The water elementals are falling as well. This is finally level 3. But the numbers are once again diminished big time. It's a 17 supply lead.
Yeah, HawK in much trouble here. I don't even know why he's out of 60 here. He made way too many farms. Didn't really calculate for his tunnel finishing and providing even more food possibilities. But yeah, 37 supply to 48. His Mountain King's on the hunt. HawK does have more mana here to work with, so if I can land some good Stormbolts and clean up. But the Footmen in his expo are wreaking havoc, and those peasants are gonna fall super fast.
And 2 more
HawK should have
priests.
stayed there.
2 more priests dead for HawK as well. Oh my, always Blade. This is like the way that TH and Infi are using their footmen. I see glimpses of that in Blade every time he plays.
Like, it might be a little bit presumptuous, but I think European human versus human at the top level has nothing to envy to top Asian human mirror.
Pretty good.
And HawK has no wood. He sent militia to the expo. He realized I have no wood, so he sent that back in the main base, but he's gonna struggle to keep on making units right now. He needs some desperate hero targets. Maybe if he can make that Archmage of Blade Town Portal. His own Archmage is under fire though. He's gonna go down. A last hit bash, and it's the 3-0 from Blade who takes out HawK